Formation of the Indian National Congress. So this is very important. Indian National Congress, when it was formed, who formed it, and how it was formed. So all these things we will study in details in this formation of Indian National Congress. So already we studied that this Indian Association and Indian National Conference, they merged together since their aim was same, their purpose was same. So they merged together with Indian National Congress, and today we have this Indian National Congress that was formed in December 1885. Various political organizations mentioned earlier were local in character. We already studied various political organizations like East India Association, Indian Association, Indian National Conference. All these political organizations were local in character, but their aim was same. They had prepared the ground for the creation of Indian National Congress. So the leaders who contributed in the formation of Indian National Congress were Surendranath Banerjee, Dadabhai Naoroji, Firoz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tyagji, and Justice Ranade. They were moving towards the formation of an all India political body, but they were working together to form this all India political body. But luckily at that time they came in contact with this strange source whose name was A.O. Hume. He was the one who provided them the perfect guidelines or the perfect way to form this Indian National Congress. So who was A.O. Hume? He was a retired British member of Indian Civil Service. He was the retired British member of Indian Civil Service, and he was the one who founded this Indian National Congress. He helped these Indian leaders to form this Indian National Congress. He wanted to set up an organization that would draw the government's attention to the administrative drawbacks. What were the problems that were going on in the administration? He wanted to draw the attention of the British administrators to the drawbacks that were there in the administration, and also he wanted to suggest means to rectify all these problems or to rectify these drawbacks. So in order to achieve his aims, he wrote an open letter to the graduates of the Calcutta University asking them to dedicate themselves to the service of the people by forming a union. He wrote a letter to the graduates of Calcutta University and he asked them to get united in order to form a well-defined course of action for this organization. His appeal produced a very good result. So in 1884, Hume, in consultation with some of the Indian leaders, laid the foundation of Indian National Union. So in 1884, Indian National Union was formed. The Conference of the Representatives of different parts of India was convened by the Union at Pune on December 25. So this Indian National Union, its conference was convened at Pune on December 25, 1885. But at that time, plague broke out in Pune, and so the meeting was held at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, Mumbai, from December 28 to 31, 1885. And this conference was held under the presidency of Womesh Chandra Banerjee. This conference was attended by 72 delegates. So this is very important. W.C. Banerjee was the first to head the Conference of Indian National Congress, or he was the first president of Indian National Congress. On the suggestion of Dadabhai Naoroji, the name of union was changed to Indian National Congress. So already we studied the name of Indian National Congress was not Indian National Congress at the beginning, it was Indian National Union. But Dadabhai Naoroji, he suggested to change the name of Indian National Union to Indian National Congress. And so Indian National Congress came into existence on December 28, 1885.
The Viceroy Lord Dufferin favored the formation of Indian National Congress. The then Viceroy of India, Lord Dufferin, he supported the formation of Indian National Congress. This is very important. Why Lord Dufferin supported the formation of Indian National Congress? Because he wanted this Indian National Congress to act as a safety valve for popular discontent. He already knew that the discontent, if it gets accumulated among the Indians, it will again erupt out in the form of it will erupt out like it erupted during the First War of Independence, because of all the discontent that accumulated among the Indians. So in order to provide an outlet to all this kind of discontent, he supported the formation of Indian National Congress. He knew that this Indian National Congress will be some kind of outlet for this discontent of the Indian people. So he called this Indian National Congress as a safety valve, thereby safeguarding the British interest in India. If through this channel, Indian National Congress, the discontent of the people will erupt out or come out, then the safeguard of the British, there will be the safeguard to the British interest in India. So that was the reason why Lord Dufferin supported the formation of Indian National Congress. The Congress stood for the hopes and aspirations of the people of India and accepted the leadership in launching the freedom movement. It achieved the goal of freedom in 1947. So finally, Indian National Congress, it got the support of the Indians, it got the support of the Indian leaders, it also stood by the hopes and aspirations of the Indian people, and finally it achieved freedom in 1947. So aims of Indian National Congress, this is also very important, the aims of the Indian National Congress. So already we studied the first the first session was under the presidency of W.C. Banerjee, and there he declared these following aims. So we will study the aims. First is to promote friendly relations between nationalist political workers from different parts of the country. All the nationalist political workers working in different parts of the country, there should be friendly relations among all these nationalist political workers. Second point is to develop and consolidate the feelings of national unity irrespective of caste, religion or province. While fighting for our country, there should not be any kind of feelings like caste, religion or province. All these feelings should be turned into national unity. To formulate popular demands and present them before the government. What were the demands of the Indians? Those demands will be drafted, formulated and presented before the British government. To train and organize public opinion in the country. So these were the aims or objectives of Indian National Congress. The Congress held its sessions every year on December to chalk out programs to achieve its aims. Every year in December, this Indian National Congress holds sessions under various presidents, and why these sessions are formed? To chalk out the programs to achieve their aims. Changes were made in the above mentioned aims of the Congress from time to time. So these were the aims or objectives that were formulated during the first session of Indian National Congress. But these aims and objectives goes on changing time to time according to the changing circumstances. So the sessions of the Congress, we will study the sessions, all the sessions of Indian National Congress. Already we studied the first session that was held under the presidency of W.C. Banerjee, and it was attended by 72 delegates from all over India. And who were those delegates? Some eminent persons such as Dadabhai Naoroji. These were the people who attended the first session of Indian National Congress. K.T. Telang, Feroz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tyagji, G. Subramanya Iyer, Ananda Challu, N.G. Chandavarkar and Justice Ranade. So these were the people, or these were among those eminent people who attended the first session of Indian National Congress. Then the second session, it was held in 1886. It was held at Kolkata under the presidency of Dadabhai Naoroji. And some of the delegates were received by Lord Dufferin as distinguished visitors to the capital. The delegates who attended the second session, they were termed as distinguished visitors to the capital by Lord Dufferin, the then Viceroy of India. Thereafter, the National Congress met every year in December in different parts of the country, and the number of its delegates soon increased to 1,000. So gradually, in every session, the number of delegates started to increase. The Surat session, that was the 23rd session, this was one of the important session of Indian National Congress, was held in 1907 under the presidency of Rashbihari Ghosh. There was a dispute between the early nationalists and the assertive nationalists. So in this Surat session, there was some kind of disputes between the early nationalists and the assertive nationalists of the Congress regarding the methods of agitation in Bengal after its partition. So this we will study in details in the next chapters. What was the dispute between early nationalists and assertive nationalists? These early nationalists and assertive nationalists, they were actually the two wings of the Congress, and dispute arose in between these two wings on methods of agitation, methods of protest that was going on in Bengal after partition. So because of this dispute, there was a split in the Congress. In this Surat session, there was a split between these two wings of the Congress, that is the assertive nationalist and the early nationalist. The assertive group was excluded from the Congress nearly for a decade, almost for a decade. These assertive nationalists, they were excluded from the Indian National Congress. But later on, in this Lucknow session that was held in 1916, in this Lucknow session, these two wings of the Congress were again united.